Hello and welcome to Toto TCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon video on the channel. And in today's video, we are going to be checking out not actually more cards. We've opened our little catch up on cards, but we have got something that I was hoping we might actually find a bit sooner when we first opened the first one of this series, but it's been quite hard to find them. What am I talking about? Well, we are talking about an ominous shadow. We have got another Select figure, and it's Cinderace. Oh yes. So, beginning of the year, we managed to secure ourselves a Mega Charizard X, which we opened up pretty quickly on the channel and checked it all out. We're missing Deoxys. It's sort of out of stock the places I've seen, but I'm hoping at some point we can come across it. Nothing's been revealed so far for Series 10, as far as I'm aware. I think some things have been sort of teased or leaked, but nothing like official, like one of these photos or anything like that. But yeah, we have got the Cinderace. This is pretty much the pose that I pretty much want to try and get him in. A kicking pose where he's kicking something. It makes sense. He's like the football Pokemon, especially when he's kicking the fireball and everything like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as if he does come with a fireball accessory, which I want to say is unfortunate, but none of the other ones ever came with it, and you'd be thinking, well, you could have given Charizard more flames, or... But anyway, they've given us this. It does seem like a very thin figure, but I can see a lot of articulation points all over here for both the arms, the wrists, the legs as well, the head. So I'll be interested to see exactly what this is like. The base is probably on the top as well, knowing the Select figures. But without further ado, let's get into this. Let's get this open, and let's see how awesome this Cinderace is. He's out. He's out. Okay. Do you stand on your own? That is the question. Not really. Okay, first impacts. Looking pretty cool. We've got some major articulation at the torso here. Major crunching going on, which kind of makes sense if we wanted him to sort of lean back a bit more or lean forward. The arms look so weird though. Oh, I don't know how I feel about those. They look so weird. There's like a small amount of detailing on those paws, and then everything else just is like white with the articulation points. Ooh, that's weird. And then the arms are bent as well. Ooh, yee. Okay, we can get some interesting poses out of that. Okay. He can't actually move his arms more in than there. Sort of stops there. The articulation is there to sort of move them up, but even then, that stops there. So there's about very, very limited in terms of the shoulders. That's probably because of these little pads here. But you can see the articulation points want to carry on a little bit more, both up and down. Even if I rotated them out a little bit more, they do sort of come out. And then you can get his arms to pretty much come together. Well, somewhat. Somewhat. It is quite limited. Interesting, okay. For all those little points of articulation there, I was expecting a little bit more. But, nevertheless, we got a ball joint as well as like a little, like a sort of hinge as well. So we can sort of hinge him forward a little bit if he was looking. You can't really look back all that much because the spikes on his back are going to be poking out there. Overall, though, I mean, the paintwork... I can't really see anything that's really causing me any concerns here. The paintwork is pretty good. Pretty good indeed, even down to the little tootsies. He's got his little beans on his feet. We have got some actual foot articulation as well, bending back and forth there, and obviously it's on a ball joint so it can sort of swivel as well. The knee as well has got some articulation, although it seems a bit locked at the moment. Oh wow, that is fairly limited because of that back piece there. That is very limited. So we're not getting a lot there. We're definitely not getting a knee slide out of him. That's all it is. Oh my goodness me, okay. That's really unfortunate. That is really, really unfortunate there. We do get the legs able to kick forward. Not a lot, to be fair. It's definitely, if we're going to get that kicking pose or maybe even a running pose, There's potential of a looking like he's about to kick the ball, running, but definitely nothing where I'm going to be able to lift this up any further. Oh, wow, okay. This can be an interesting one to pose. Very, very interesting. Knees are limited. He's got limited knees, but the leg backwards is more than the forward one. He's got rather wide hips, which aren't allowing him to sort of do anything more than that. I can barely get him to sit down properly. Oh, dearie me, Cinderace. You look great, but the articulation, oof, yikes. I think it looks a lot better than actually what it is. The articulation, you think, oh wow, there's tons here. And yes, it does look as if there is, but there's definitely limitations because of these extra little bits, the little fire pieces, the little shoulder pads, but that's part of his aesthetic. You take that away, it's not Cinderace. So you've got to take that into consideration. Right, let's have a little look, because I'm not too sure if you're going to be able to stand up on your own, are you? Without me leaning him over. So he's got to have a hunch. Okay, you stay there. Let's make your base. Okay, so let's pop these together here. We've got large peg, small peg, so that should be, boom, like that. Lovely. Okay, base doesn't want to be straight. Okay, let's rotate this a little bit then, so we can peg him all in. The peg is in the back there. Now this is also going to limit it with the tail as well, so I'm very limited as to, I can peg him in like that, and then that white bit then starts touching this, so I can't move that any further downwards on this point. I can here if I want to, so we could lean him back a couple, and then, but then I've got to have to like rotate him a little bit to get him, and then the little thing comes out. Oh dearie me, Cinderace. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to have to be, I think, a flying pose. Not that he's a flying Pokemon, but at least something where he's jumping, I think. Let's have a little look, see what we can do. So if we bring this up and then peg him in so he's very much flying, like that. What can I get him to do from this pose? Could rotate him a little bit, but then that just looks a bit weird. Definitely think these arms are going to have to do something. Where's the box? Let's have a little look, see what... I want to see how the box has got imposed with those arms. I'd love to know how you managed to get it to do that. Okay. See the box artwork there? That looks rather interesting, but for me, I try and get him to... So what you're saying is if I rotate the leg out... Oh, I can actually push, I can push my luck here. I can really push it out, to be fair. Okay, so it can be pushed out further than what I thought it could. But not, oh, that doesn't feel good. That does not feel good. So you can get a bit more of a natural sitting down pose, so I lie. Thank you, box. But he's got, like, so the leg is out there, like kicking, with the arms sort of, they've sort of got it out and then like that almost, but it's pointing towards the leg, so it's like the leg can rotate out, can it? The leg can't rotate, it's on a ball joint. There's very limited articulation there, but what have they done with that leg? Because it's like they've bent this but then rotated it here. But then they've really put a bend on... I really don't know how they've got away with that box artwork. That is very impressive. Very, very impressive. That arm is sort of like down here. Good thing is you can rotate the wrist so that it looks more natural then. There's so much like articulation in this the arms. But yeah, we could sort of like have him maybe like that. Maybe? They've made his foot look skewiff on the picture, but his knee doesn't articulate anymore. I can definitely get that rotation. I 100% can see the rotation going on there. Let's have a look what that looks like if I'm pegging him in. Can I peg him in? Ooh, hello. Come on. Okay, so we can't even use the articulation of the... Right, okay. Yeah, definitely need to rotate the thingy here, methinks. Okay, I mean, there's the picture. That's the picture. Focus on the picture. There's the picture. Reality. Picture. Reality. They've somehow got that leg to articulate more out, so it almost joins where the arm is here. I can't push the arm any more in than where it is there. And the leg doesn't have a hinge to go outwards. I'm like pushing my luck even there, because you can see the blue in the inside there. Ooh, that is an interesting one. I mean, in terms of a kicking pose, he's kicking. I think we can all say he looks as if he's kicking, or he's at least just kicked. Maybe. Maybe. Of course, you've got the foot articulation as well, but it's not going to allow me to do like a flat foot, but I can sort of angle this up or angle it a little bit there. We could also, if we wanted to, angle it a little bit there, which I guess kind of makes sense if it was angled, because at least then the angle of the kick. It's those arms though, I'm not too sure about the arms. If I was a footballer, if I was a footballer, definitely wouldn't have his arm like that. Definitely seems like it should be there. I think the outward one there gives him that balance. Looks like he's literally looks like he's about to start jogging or running. It's just, I think that one's fine, and then bring this down maybe and just sort of like have him like that. Maybe not actually. That maybe like that, a bit out maybe. Interesting, very interesting indeed. Well, an interesting character for the Select line. Let's have a look at some comparisons here with him. So we've got Cinderace, which it looks great. It looks fantastic. It's just those little articulation points, I think. Just the knees and also the shoulders as well. Sort of just limit the articulation with the hands and legs there. But let's bring in, of course, the Behemoth from before, which literally is living up to the Behemoth now, because he definitely looks a lot taller than Cinderace, but that's only because he's flying. We could potentially get Cinderace to fly, but it doesn't make sense. But they look pretty interesting together, to be fair. There's definitely a height difference at the moment, but in terms of, like, you know, if you were to look at Charizard's foot all the way up to his like top wing, they're definitely kind of the same. If Cinderace wasn't kicking as well, then yeah, there'd probably be a pretty interesting bit of height there. But they work pretty cool. I'd be interested to see what the Deoxys one is like. I've got a feeling it probably will be the weaker out of the three. I think Charizard was definitely up there. It's definitely improved on some of the points from the first one. Cinderace has a lot of articulation, but like I said, it's just those little mobility things with it that seem to let it down a little bit. But if I pop Charizard off there, just with that ominous shadow there, let's bring Cinderace back in, because I'd be interested to see what this looks like now. So we got Cinderace, and here is another Cinderace. That is the actual 6-inch figure, so you can see that next to it. Then we've also got Raboot. I'm going to try and get this all in here. I'm going to actually use him to hold him. They don't stand up very well, some of these. And then we've also got the Scorbunny as well. His feet don't hold him. I mean, overall, that looks pretty cool. If you had a little, you know, if you like Cinderace, this is great, because you've got an awesome looking Cinderace here. Great artwork and paintwork going on with this one. This one, I definitely think, has the feature of obviously doing the kick. Even the articulation for those arms as well, they kind of work. The paintwork on this one is so much better, though. But they look so cool together. It almost looks like a nice little statue where you could have all of them on there together. Yeah, it's just a shame about that articulation. I keep having to mention it, but if that was okay, then this could be potentially really cool. The good thing is as well, this does actually come with a fireball. So if I wanted to, I could maybe get something where the little fireball is maybe up here, something like a little metal. I know you can get like like a hard metal wire that could sort of maybe attach to the foot and sort of bring it up here, so it looks as if he's kicking the ball. I think that would add to it a little bit more, but the display of this is definitely going to be pretty cool. I think when you're not really seeing when you don't really see the plastic in the background there, it looks pretty cool. He's sort of like jumping on his own, but you definitely want it to be rotated that way so you can see his face where he's sort of kicking. He definitely wants to make sure he's posed correctly, so he's looking where he's kicking at least. But yeah, no, overall, I definitely think he's probably the second strongest out of the two that we've opened. The Charizard's way up there. I'm not too sure on Deoxys, to be fair. It's those arms that are really concerning me. It's the bendy metal plastic with the metal running through it. I just really might have to pose that very, very well. Not a lot of posing. The feet have articulation, but we'll have to see when we open that one. Not too sure when that will be, but if we can get our hands on that one, then we will. But I hope you guys have enjoyed our opening and posing of the Cinderace Select figure from Series 9. A very, very cool one. If you do like Cinderace, I definitely think it's worth picking it up. It's definitely one to have, but just be warned about the articulation and the issues with the corners, issues with the knees and the shoulders. Just limiting things a little bit more. But there we go. I'll leave it here for this one. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video on the channel. See you then.